They suck. Square root of x to the 10th power. What times itself gives you x to the 10th power? Well, if I got 10 of them, what if you split them in half? Isn't x to the 5th times x to the 5th equal to x to the 10th? Right? So the square root of x to the 10th is x to the 5th. What if it was x to the 12th power instead? What times itself gives you x to the 12th power? Wouldn't it be x to the 6th times x to the 6th? What if it was x to the 14th power instead? Anybody see the pattern? X to the 7th times x to the 7th is x to the 14th. So what times itself gives you x to the 14th? X to the 7th. What's the pattern?
Divide the power.
Bingo. We can take the exponent and divide it by 2, because remember, the exponent isn't really a number, it's just telling you how many of you that you have. I have 14 x's. I'm going to put them together, they got to be exactly the same. Well, that would be 7 and 7. So what is the square root of x to the 22nd power? X to the 11th, yeah. Take half. What is the square root of x to the 66th power? X to the 33rd, yeah. Scary, huh? Pretty straightforward. Y'all thought, well, it's x exponent, it's going to be weird. You know, that's the move. So any even number you can split in half, right? X to the 102nd would be x to the 52nd. The square root of x to the 104. What if you get an odd number, though? What if it was x to the what? 13th instead? You already know. Can you make this look like this? What did we do a minute ago when we had numbers? If you had x to the, well, the 98, we broke it into a square and a non-square, right? Can we break this into something x to the 13th that will break down and it will not break down? Yeah, how about 12 times 1? X to the 12th and x to the 1st. That's a total of 13, isn't it? Can you break down x to the 12th? Square root of x to the 12th would be x to the 6th. Square root of x is square root of x. I don't know what x is, so how do you find the square root of something you don't know what it is? So if I have, if I had x to the square root of x to the 15th, what could we break that into? How about 14 and 1? Because can you break down the square root of 14? What's the square root of 14 of x to the 14th? X to the 7. The square root of x is the square root of x. Do you see how what we're doing here is very similar to what we did up there. We break it into a square and a non-square. And our answer has got a number and then a square root still in. Just like here. Could we break it into a smaller number? What are two other numbers that add up to give you 15? Could you take x to the 15th, square root of it, and break it into x to the 10th and x to the 5th? Well, yeah, x to the 10th is, square root of x to the 10th is x to the 5th. Can you break this down further, though? Wouldn't I break this into x to the 4th and x? So I get x to the 5th. What's the square root of that? X squared. And then yet not combine like terms. These aren't terms.
Put them together.
Put them together, yeah. X to the 7th. So what's the shortcut? If you've got an odd number, break it into 1 and the even number right below it. That would be the shortcut, wouldn't it? Could we break it into other numbers? Sure, but we got more work to do. So your shortcut, another Santa Claus gift. Take your odd number and break it into 1 and whatever the even number that goes with it. If you want to do it the fastest. So if you had somebody give me some ridiculous odd number.
$737.
737. What would be the fastest way to break this up? 736 and x. Exactly. Could I bake? I could spend all day long breaking down that otherwise, but isn't this a whole lot faster? What's half of 737? You got the calculators. I'm 368, I think, but somebody check my math.
H264.
Really? You know how sad that is if I do that in my head faster than you can do that on a calculator? That's really sad. You guys gotta get faster. So that's the only point there. Use a shortcut, make it faster for yourself. Why mess with it?